Hi, my name is Araceli Garcia, and I'm currently in the certification program for principal certification. This is an introduction to my video where I observed a reading specialist through the lens of an administrator, utilizing my recently acquired knowledge on the professional development appraisal system in order to meet Lamar's university requirement of an observation video. I chose to utilize this opportunity to further familiarize myself with all competencies in the PDAS evaluation system and gain insight into what makes an excellent teacher whom the students really connect with. I was having difficulty recording myself do the introduction and verbal reflection on the day of the actual observation, which is why I'm recording it separate. I had an opportunity to observe Ms. Garcia give an engaging lesson to an at-risk students in a small group setting. The teacher delivered a lesson on reading comprehension strategies that was aligned to the state and district curriculum as observed in her display of content and language objective. While the teacher delivered the lesson, I took notes on my laptop and evaluated her on the PDAS domains observed during the lesson delivery. The result of the lesson was outstanding, even though the students were not formally evaluated during my observation. The teacher orally evaluated students who seemed to grasp the concept of comprehension and summarization accordingly. I was excited to see her students and lesson delivery. My students have talked about how easy it is to understand the concepts she teaches and how she relates to the students very well. I was able to note all attributes of an excellent teacher. Towards the end, I was satisfied in choosing to make my observation video in the classroom since it gave me insight and further knowledge on PDAS. The positive aspects of the classroom observation definitely exceeded the rare negative aspects. The student motivation and teacher energy was outstanding and helped facilitate the lesson understanding. The breakdown of the lesson cycle is by days and objectives. One day is for vocabulary, one day is for comprehension and fluency, one day is to analyze concepts presented in the story, one day is for informal observation using Kahoot, a program in which kids can respond to teacher-generated questions from their iPad device, and another day is to reteach as appropriate based on the students' responses. Reflecting on the situation and having explored the issue from different angles, interviewing both the teacher and student, I realized that 45 minutes is definitely not enough time to determine the quality of education or the cycle of the lesson presented to students. It is important to principals to note that one PDAS formal observation is not sufficient to evaluate a teacher and student success. Principals must perform numerous walkthroughs through the year in order to compile their data together and be able to account for their observations in the final PDAS evaluation. The teacher delivered an effective lesson that was engaging to students, but I think despite the student population, LEP, special ed, recent immigrants, they would have still been challenged to think critically and give the opportunity and responsibility to discuss their thinking with another student where they could compare and contrast their responses prior to responding to the teacher questions. So if I were the campus principal, I would continue to observe the teacher and see how the entire cycle of the lesson plays out. See how students are able to answer higher order thinking questions and their level of knowledge pertaining to vocabulary. Overall, I really enjoyed this opportunity. Thank you.